Hello everybody, what the flick? We're reviewing Gotham Season 1, Episode 3, Balloon Man. I'm William Bibbiani, with me is Francis Maxwell.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
If people take the law into their own hands, then there is no law.
We have a vigilante who kills bad cops.
Oswald Cobblepot, he's dead, isn't he?
Your deductive powers astonish me. I just gotta chill.
Please don't kill me! Gotham needs me! Then Gotham is in big trouble.
Yes, it is.
So this episode was pretty silly. The fundamental, the crux of this episode is that there was a vigilante preying on Gotham, connecting crooked and corrupt people to weather balloons, sending them flying up into the sky. And that's what you got for episode 3 of your Batman series? That's it? That's pretty thin, man.
People, I understand. I like to review comments and try and figure out how people are viewing this and look at other reviews. And the reason why I don't want to get too nitpicky, but I feel like we have to, is because Batman is such a huge franchise, and I know it's not based around that, but I want it to do so well. But you're going to choose someone who kills someone using hot air balloons, or not kills them, but puts them up in there and then they come back down as your third villain to start with. Yeah, this is the sort of thing you resort to in Season 5 when you've run out of ideas. And this is what I'm saying about Smallville. This is it's villain of the week, and people are saying it's not that, but because they're still talking about the Riddler. And no, still talking about Cobblepot. At this point right now, I would love if they just focused on him. Cobblepot has become to go with your Smallville analogy, he's the Lex Luthor of the series. Yeah, exactly. We're following him, we're waiting for him to become what we know he's going to become. Yeah. But every week we've got someone, and I think we both thought Lily Taylor and Frank Whaley were fun last week. Yeah, they were fun. But they were a threat that could be taken seriously, kidnapping children. We could wrap our heads around that. Yeah. The balloon thing, I mean, I can imagine that on paper that sounded kind of neat, but the problem is, it's not even just the Balloon Man, it's the way that they deal with it. Yeah. Because there is an important plot point, and it's treated like oh crap, and it's the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time. It's when two police detectives, granted one of them's Bullock, and he's not the sharpest guy in the whatever, but Gordon is a smart guy, and neither of them knew that balloons fell down eventually. This guy's like, you didn't know how weather balloons work? Yeah, eventually they pop. And I'm like, what are you, 4? Do you believe that when your balloon, you lost your balloon as a kid, it just went up and met God and never came down again? What the heck? I think that you touch on a point that's good that must be reiterated. I think on paper, they had a right idea. I know fine well what these guys are thinking. They're trying to pry at Batman sort of aspects, right? This vigilante who stands up against corrupt government, who has to put things right, but they just did it in such a mediocre way, and just I want to love the show. I must reiterate this to viewers. I want to love it because I love the Batman. The chronicles of everything that's involved in Batman, but this was just a silly way of doing it. And as I said, for me from now on, I'd be more than delighted if they just focused the rest of the season on perhaps trying to track down the Wayne murderers and Cobblepot, because that's the two storylines that kind of are still intriguing me and putting me through this, rather than watching people go up in hot air balloons and not come down. And Cobblepot this week, Cobblepot actually was the fun part of this week. I think we finally met Sal Maroni, who is the rival mobster in Gotham before the Freaks took over. Yeah. He's played by that guy from Dexter. Yeah. His name escapes me. I can't remember his name. He's a good actor. He's a good actor. I like him as Maroni. I like him. I like that we're introduced to him now, and we can sort of toy with the idea, how is the Maroni and Falcone sort of battle going to partake, because you can hear him. He's talking about him in the scene, and Cobblepot overhears it, and they're saying that something's coming. They're going to overthrow this idea, and I like that. This is the most serious aspect, the sort of Dark Knight aspect that I can buy into, rather than this sort of comedic. They're toying far too much with the in between, and they're going towards this comedic, the balloon guy. It's just something that I just didn't buy into, but I can buy into this storyline and the sort of Fish Mooney, Falcone. I still love their going back and forth between each other. They come up so sweet. It's like that Godfather mentality. I'll kiss you on the cheek, but tomorrow I'm going to slap you in the face. You know what I mean? It's that aspect, and I like that. I can buy into that storyline. Not enough of it though. Yeah, I don't think so. Is it just me, or did Cobblepot endear himself to Maroni a little quickly? Yeah. All I had to do was work in his restaurant and sort of look at him. Yeah. Yeah. That's all it takes. That was you could have really sped through the first half of Goodfellas. It would have been great. Yeah, I remember as well what you talked about in the last review, which I definitely should, is they're trying to reinstate who these people are. We know who they are right now. We get it. I mean, you don't have to keep saying the cat girl or cat woman she's going to be. She's like, I can see in the dark. Right, okay, we get it. You're a cat.
Yeah.
All right, you don't
Yeah.
need to keep
Call me
reinstating.
Cat. We get it. You're
Yeah.
going to be Catwoman. Shut up.
That's what I mean, and
Yeah.
I feel as if the viewers, the directors and the makers of this show are feeling like they have to keep reinstating this to the viewers. Like, most people who are watching this are going to be Batman fans. Not everyone's going to be knowledgeable, and yes, you have to reinstate it at the start, but don't reinstate it every episode. We know who's the villains now. We know who we're expecting to see. You don't need to keep showing them the update.
And the target demographic knows it going in no matter what.
Yes, of course,
Really,
that's what I'm saying.
It'd be very weird for me to imagine someone being introduced to Batman through this series.
Yeah,
I don't think it's designed that way.
And the idea behind it is it's supposed to give you a different look. It's supposed to give you what Jim Gordon's up to and what Bullock's up to, like, rather than constantly. It's as if they think that the viewers are sitting there going, I wonder what the Riddler, Cobblepot, Batwoman, everyone's up to right now. As if they're going to go show you little snippets of what they're doing.
Most of them are children.
Yeah,
like we don't. I don't care. And like, I think the crux of the show, and like, there's a great comic book called Gotham Central, which was just about what it's like to be a normal police officer in a city where there are supervillains and Batman. And I feel like a lot of the tone and feel of the show is inspired by that, but it has none of the cleverness, and it has none of the, like, even just the simple police work doesn't make any sense. Like, they want us to take it seriously with the way it looks and the cop aspect, but then there'll be a scene where he takes Selena Kyle to the scene of the crime, and she's placing herself there. And he's like, well, yeah, but you could just say that. There's no evidence. And she was like, well, that guy I pickpocketed, his wallet is down the storm drain. And yeah, it is. She could have put that there at any time. There is absolutely no way to establish a timeline on that. That's just terrible detective work. And not even going like details like CSI weird. That just doesn't make any sense. Common sense.
And can we touch upon the issue that we kind of brought up in the very first review, is with Barbara Gordon and her relationship with, I'm forgetting her name's going through me right now.
We'll just call her the Question.
Yeah,
Renee Montoya.
Yeah, Renee Montoya. So those two, I mean, so that was the question of, was that going to be some sort of affair going on between them two? And it's something that's just, they're pushing forward so much, and it just doesn't fit into the realm of the story for me. I just think it's awkward and it's out of place at this moment in time, so early in the season.
It's like, don't forget, they're gay. I'm like, all right, fine. But even Renee Montoya and Crispus Allen, who are sort of portrayed as like the two good cops. They're the cops that are good at what they do. They're trying really hard to avoid the corruption. All they have to do to believe unequivocally that Jim Gordon killed Cobblepot is hear it from Fish Mooney, because she's so trustworthy.
Yeah, even though exactly.
These are the last people who would trust her. Like, I buy that Bullock would, but like, the show has problems. I'm still hoping they can right the ship. As I've said, the first 6 episodes of the pilot, we might still be righting some wrongs. The Balloon Man thing, even in the writer's room, they might have been like, yeah, that was a mistake. We're never doing that again.
That's what I mean. Like, so what can it do now to try and, like, because I'm going to ask you, because I want to know how I can keep watching it, because you're more experienced in this than me. I'm just more of a fan of it. Like, what can it do to try and rebuild itself?
I think it needs, okay, if I were in charge of this show, pie in the sky, I don't know if anyone even cares, but I would stop paying attention to Bruce Wayne. We don't care. The more you show him, the more we want him to become Batman sooner, and it's not going to happen. So it's just a pointless tease. He's gone, maybe a cameo once in a while. He's gone. And I think you spend a lot less time trying to build up every single Batman villain or every single Batman character. If they're in there, like, even if Selena Kyle, you want to keep Selena Kyle as like your sort of Tale of Two Cities, ragamuffin shows civilization from that perspective, fine. Stop teasing us that she's going to be Catwoman. She simply is. And let her just be a kid right now. And then, but yeah, she's a thief, whatever. You've already got that established. We don't need these constant reminders of what everyone is going to be. Let this be a straight up kind of old-fashioned cop show. I mean really old-fashioned, noirish cop show. And then just let the chips fall, and then we see it gradually happen. Because right now, it seems like the way that Gotham as we know it in the movies and the comics is something they're not even going to get to until like season 5. So let that happen gradually. Stop promising it now, because you're only going to disappoint us. That's what I think.
So if you're watching Gotham reviewers and the showmakers, please just focus on, I would say, focus
on Gotham.
Yeah, focus on Gotham, and maybe just focus, if you're going to pick a villain, pick Cobblepot, because he's the best one so far, I think, for me. Played by a really good actor. So, I mean, it's just, hopefully to pick it up in the next episode. I'm struggling.
We're gonna stick with it. We're gonna hope for the best. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.